Israel has hit Hezbollah targets, about 1,300 of them. The death toll almost at 500 so far, and it is climbing. About 1,500 people wounded. Joining us live now, former IDF spokesperson Jonathan Conricus. Jonathan, this kind of attack has been coming. I think that was clear last week when those communication networks were wiped out. So is Israel officially at war now with Lebanon?
Yes, good morning. No, not quite. There are still a lot of options for this to de-escalate and for us to prevent that. And what basically Israel is offering Hezbollah is a choice. It's a choice between choosing Iran and Hamas and Gaza or choosing the future of Lebanon. And Hezbollah has that choice now, and it depends on what they want and what their strategic vision. What Israel is asking Hezbollah is to decouple itself from the fighting against Hamas in Gaza and to mind its own business, and most importantly, to allow Israeli civilians to go back to their homes. 70,000 Israelis have been displaced for more than 11 months due to Hezbollah fire.
OK, so I remember back in 2006, one of the first places that was struck during that war, Jonathan, was the airport, which means that no planes could get in or out. At what point would that be hit again this time?
Yeah, you mentioned that location, and it's a very important asset for Hezbollah. Hezbollah transfers weapons and personnel through that airport, and I'm sure it's on the list of targets that may be struck in the future, but it's definitely not something that Israel will do lightly and in a hurry. I think Israel will only do that if Hezbollah escalates the situation and tries to strike the Ben Gurion airport in Tel Aviv or any other important strategic target. And really the option here is, and what I want to stress is that there still are ways to de-escalate this. There are off-ramps. There are diplomatic options that are available. And what Israel wants is to return its people back home after 11 months of being evacuated forcefully. And what Hezbollah needs to do is the smart thing, to say, OK, we agree, we will go away from the border and we will stop shooting at Israel. That will immediately de-escalate the situation, and it will prevent a lot of bloodshed.
OK. Jonathan, tell me something. How long would this have been planned for, this response by Israel?
Well, I think that the pager operation that Israel did successfully a few days ago, that was planned for years. Those are long-term capabilities that are created, nurtured, and then kept in store for the relevant day. And in terms of targeting these locations around northeastern Lebanon, the Bekaa Valley, which is being targeted, and many other locations, this is a matter of many years, because these are capabilities that Hezbollah has generated over many years. They've been hiding these rockets and other pieces of ammunition in homes in Lebanon, all over Lebanon. And they're being struck now because Israel is taking preemptive action against Hezbollah.
So you're former IDF, we were talking to you at length a year ago. Would this have been discussed back then, Jonathan?
Definitely.
So why have they hit now? Why now?
Well, I think it's a matter of internal political pressure in Israel. 70,000 people displaced from their homes, telling the Israeli government and the Israeli ministry that this is enough. We want to go home, we want to go back to our lives, and we want to live in our communities safely. And it is your job, the government of Israel and the military, to get that done. Second thing is that the fighting in Gaza is going down, and there's less combat activities. Hamas has almost been totally eradicated from a military point of view, not as a political organization, and Israel hasn't won the battle yet, but there's good progress being made, and now Israel has enough capacity to turn its gaze towards the north and deal with the biggest and the baddest Iranian proxy in the region, which is Hezbollah.
Yeah, OK. Jonathan, we're out of time, but thank you for your time as always. We'll chat to you again soon.